Hi, welcome back. In this video tutorial, I will discuss with you how to use inline declarations in Select query. To understand it better, first we should know what is OpenSQL and what is new OpenSQL. OpenSQL supports large variety of database system. When SAP originally defined the syntax of OpenSQL, the scope of functionality was restricted to features that were common to all these database systems. With the evolution of database system, many of one's necessary limitations becomes outdated. Starting with SAP NetWeaver 7.40 support package 8, SAP began to reinvent OpenSQL to overcome as many of these limitations as possible. When you use inline declarations, the select statement has to follow new syntax rule of OpenSQL. In the new syntax of OpenSQL, you have to use comma as a separator in the list of fields or expressions. As you can see here, in the old syntax, fields are separated by space, whereas in new OpenSQL, fields are separated by comma. In new OpenSQL syntax, symbol is used to escape so-called host variables. The term host variable basically means an ABAP variable or constants inside a OpenSQL statement. In the new syntax of OpenSQL, you have to escape every host variable with preceding sign at every position in the statement. As you can see here, in the new ABAP syntax, we have not declared data type of internal table itab explicitly in the program, but we have used inline data declaration operator data in bracket we have given internal table name. The compiler will determine the data type for internal table based on the field list that we have given in select statement. Since itab is internal table in ABAP, we have escaped it with sign. Similarly, variable LV field 1 is a ABAP variable. That's why again we have to escape it with sign. For your information, the classical OpenSQL syntax is still supported and remains unchanged, but you cannot use classical and new syntax elements in the same OpenSQL statement. This implies that if you use any new feature of OpenSQL, you have to follow new syntax rules throughout your statement. For example, if you are using inline declaration operator data to declare internal table, in that case, you have to segregate fields with comma, and all other variables used in where clause has to be escaped with sign. Here is the another example where we are using select single to fetch field 1 and field 2 from database table into two variables LV1 and LV2. In new syntax, you have to segregate field 1 and field 2 with comma. Then you have to use inline data declaration for LV1 and LV2 variables separately. Both variables has to be escaped with sign. If you are using any other ABAP variable in the select query, that also need to be escaped with sign. Here are some recommendations for using inline declarations. The primary rule for inline declaration is use them only locally. Use them as if they were local declarations in the current statement block. Do not use inline declaration simply out of laziness. Though it's tempting, you should not use inline declaration without thought. In the interest of readability and stability, you should sometimes take the effort and look up the type for variable. Do not reuse inline declared variables. If you need the same variable more than once, for example, into different try structure or into subsequent loops, then declare the variable explicitly in the program. Do not use an inline declared variable far away from its definition. It affects the readability of your coding and make your coding prone to errors. To prove above points, I have this simple example here. We have declared one variable lbvar1 using inline declaration, and we have assigned a string of characters to it. In this example, we have assigned hi everyone. Then we want to print the value in that variable on screen. So I use statement write lbvar1. Then, since variable is already declared, I assign some other value to it. This time, I have assigned it the string of characters. Welcome to the course on SAP ABAP new syntax. And again, I try to print the value in this variable on screen. Now, when we ran this program, here is the output out of it. The first write statement printed hi everyone, and second write statement printed welcome to. Second write statement didn't print the entire value passed to it because when the variable lbvar1 get declared, it declared based on the information hi everyone. Hi everyone forms a character length of 11, and that's why the lbvar1 that has been declared is of type character 11. And that's why when we try to assign more character values to it, it will pick up only first 11 character information. That's why it printed welcome to. I'm just trying to highlight the point that if you are not thoughtful with the use of variables in your program, you might not get the expected output. That's all for now. See you in next video lecture.